All right, man, look, today's video is gonna be a special video because we got our first official review from Dehancers. Now, if you don't know what Dehancer is, or if you've never heard of them, Dehancer is basically a film emulated plugin where you can plug into Lightroom Classic, Premiere Pro, After Effects, Final Cut, DaVinci. You'll be able to give your photo or video a film emulated look. Now, if you still don't get what I'm saying, if you still don't know what I mean, and you kind of curious, don't even worry about it, don't even trip, I got you. The footage we just shot in the beginning of Trey hooping, shout out to you, Trey, man. I appreciate you for locking in with me. We had locked in it was like 11 o'clock at night when we shot that footage. We're gonna run that back, but this time we're gonna put the formulation on top of it, and then you'll be able to get what I'm saying a little bit better. Then once we get to watching that, I'm gonna give y'all a breakdown. We're gonna run through it. I'm gonna show you how it worked. I'm gonna give my honest review because they told me, give an honest opinion. And I'm gonna give y'all an honest opinion. I'm gonna give you the real deal, no sugarcoat, straight to the point with it. We're gonna run through video, we're gonna run through photo, and after all that, if you feeling it, I got something that you just might like at the end, so stay tuned. Anyways, let's run that back.
Just give up now. Oh, I can give up now. Oh, I just can't give up now. No, can't just give up now.
All right, look, if you're new to the channel, we get straight to the point here. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't beat around the bush. I don't take forever to get to my final conclusion. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I like Dehancer. I feel like Dehancer adds a lot of style and creativity, especially in today's time where a lot of our equipment is crisp and clear. I mean, phones nowadays can do damn near what a camera can do if you know how to work it. So I think that like going against the grain and dehancing photos and making it give a film emulated look is cool to me. Now let's speak specifically on is it worth it. If you're into film emulated looks, I think Dehancer can definitely help in this situation. Now, like I said, I gotta keep it a buck with you guys. I've only been using Dehancer for about almost a little under a month now. And honestly, I do like Dehancer. It adds a bit more creativity when it comes to like, what way do you wanna take this scene? What way do you wanna take this photo? How do you wanna make this thing feel, look, etc., etc. But within the plugin, I mainly only catch myself using halations, blooms, and adjusting the grain, which honestly I feel like it's the highlight and the main three things about Dehancer, to be honest with you. It's actually pretty easy to install into whatever software you're using. They give you the manual to tell you how to set it up. Let's load this up and I'm gonna give you guys a better look on Adobe and Lightroom because that's what I pretty much edit on. So let's run through that real quick. Once you get everything downloaded and you read the manual on how to set up the settings and whatnot, it's pretty simple, like a 1, 2, 3 step. It's gonna be in your effects automatically. You're just gonna go here, you're gonna find film emulation, you're gonna drag and drop onto the footage, and boom, you come to your effect controls and it's already right there. It's not a color grade. You're not color grading. I don't want y'all to think like, oh yeah, I can sit here and color grade with Dehancer and do film emulation on top of that. That's not what this is. You want to color grade first and then use Dehancer to add all your film emulations on top of that. Now, though it's not color grading, they do have things that can kind of help, and it kind of does some minor grading, minor, very minor, but nothing major at all. So once you get in your effect controls, you can click on input and you can change your source. I mean, I think it's really cool because you can even choose your camera that you have, and you know, based upon what brand you're using, you can use that, you can click that. But we don't have my camera up here because we're shooting off a Sony A7C, and that is not it. So we're just gonna go back to the Rec 709. There is some things you can adjust with color, but it's not, you're not gonna sit here and color grade in Dehancer. I just wanna stress that. I don't want y'all thinking like you can do that and then you get it, or then you watch me continue to do it and you're like, man, this ain't no color grade. I can't color grade Dehancer. You're not color grading. It's an add-on to help you. You get what I'm saying. They do give you some profiles that helps you set up the looks you're trying to go for, and they have a bunch. They have a whole lot. They have more than enough. So we're not gonna go through all of them, but let's just say we picked one here, right? We're probably gonna use that one. But we can scroll through here and there's a lot that we can pick from to have a starting point. Once you picked your profile, if you're gonna use a profile, anything like that, everything is pretty much a push or pull, a drag left, drag right, like everything else has always been when you're color grading. So you can have your push or pull here, you can add more, you can increase. You can add more and increase, or you can turn them down and decrease. We're not gonna do any adjustments here. The adjustments that you've seen on the video that we just showed, I've already made those edits beforehand, so I wasn't doing it live. I just wasn't gonna do it live. I had to, you know what I'm saying? I wanna take my time. Honestly, I'm not using most of these that I'm showing you right now, black point, white point, but they are useful. They do come in handy, but you can do most of these things before you get to Dehancer, you get what I'm saying? I feel like that's one thing that isn't really necessary. Like, they give you some color heads, which I think it's beneficial, I think it's nice, but like I was saying, you can do some of this stuff before you even get to Dehancers. So I'm gonna be honest, film developer, film compression, expand, print, color head, I feel like, I'm not gonna say it's not useful, but it's less useful. I have no reason to use all of that because I can do most of that in DaVinci or some of that in Premiere, because everybody knows you can do more in DaVinci than you can in Premiere when it comes to color grading and things like that, but that's neither here or there. That's not this video. Not today. This is where I feel like Dehancer comes in at in its prime. This is where I feel like Dehancer excels at and why you want to get Dehancer. I feel like this is Dehancer. This is like, this is why I would use Dehancer right here. Halation, bloom, and film grain. I'm not gonna go through every slider. I'm not gonna go through every one, adjust every single one. We're not here to make this video look perfect. We're just here to show you guys how this works. But film grain gives you more control. It gives you more options than just, you know, using grain and Premiere and maybe DaVinci. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely Premiere. You have more control. You're able to adjust the size of the grain, how big the grain is, and the amount of grain you receive. So you can really have much more control that really allows you to really like kind of go for that look you're trying to go for. Then also bloom. We're gonna go down here, we're gonna click enable so we can see what we're adjusting. Once you amplify the bloom, as you can see, if you look at the lights, you can see much more bloom. We're not gonna make it look perfect, we're gonna make it look just however. I think this is where Dehancer really comes into play at when it comes to why you would wanna get Dehancer, to be honest with you. Halation and bloom for me somewhat kind of go hand in hand because they both revolve around lighting. If we were to amplify this halation right here, and let's turn this up, and then let's hit enable. If you look at his shirt, you can see the Nike increasing. Now we amplified it. Now let's do a local diffuse, and let's make that pop more. And now if you see his shirt and the lights in the background, there's a lot more halation on it. We're not gonna make it look perfect. This is by all means horrible. This gives that look as if you're shooting on old film, and I think they do really good with this with halation, film grain, and bloom. I'm not saying they do bad with print and film developer and compression and everything else. I'm not saying they do bad at all. But a lot of times I find myself personally, this is just my honest review, I find myself personally only using the grain, halation, and bloom, and sometimes the vignette as well. I'm not saying they don't excel and they don't do good anywhere else. That is what really changes the look of your photo or video once you put the plugin on top of the edit. I feel like it's very beneficial, especially if you're really into this kind of style. Now for photo, we're gonna load up Lightroom Classic, we're gonna run through that one, and it's not gonna take too long because pretty much the plugin applies and looks the same, just about the same when you plug it in, and it works the same way, so it's not gonna take us that long. We shot this car yesterday at the job on the dealership. If you guys don't know, I do work at the dealership, so I'm always around cars, and we have a Hellcat jailbreak, so we're gonna run through this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here, we're gonna go to edit, we're gonna go to edit and Dehancer. Once you've downloaded Dehancer and you went through the manual and everything like that, you're gonna simply come here, right click, you're gonna go click on edit, and you're gonna edit in Dehancer. Then we're going to edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. I've already made adjustments on this photo on Lightroom, so we're just gonna edit it. We can just edit original, but normally if you edit it in Lightroom Classic, you wanna edit with the copy with Lightroom adjustments. So we're gonna edit the original though. Just like video, Dehancer comes with profiles you can already pre-select. Let's turn these on. And we can select a number of these to give more of a film look. I mean, I truly think they give you a good range of selection here to have a starting point from. But for example, we're just gonna start, let's just start here. So just like video for Adobe, you have your profiles, but on here you also have your presets. So all presets. Now we can go through here and really just select any preset. They're gonna give you a preset option. And you don't have to use any of these, of course. You can go through here and select whatever you're gonna select. We're gonna use this one right here. And then afterwards, it's the same thing applies just like video on Adobe. You're gonna come over here, you're gonna come to the right, you're gonna enable whatever you wanna use, film compression. Let's go all the way down to halation. We're gonna turn up local diffusion. And as you can see here, we're just dragging left and right more and more. We're gonna reset that, just like that. The same exact thing as editing on video. You can really tell the size of the grain here being drug out and the amount here being added into the photo more and more. And the resolution, we take it down and we drag it up. I think that right there is why we get Dehancer. Honestly, that right there is why we get Dehancer. Having more control over that in your mid-tones and in your highlights, being able to drag that down, turn that up. I mean, of course, this photo looks ugly. This photo is horrendous. Like, it's horrible. Like, it's terrible. Having that much room to play with versus not having that much room to play with is crazy. That's pretty much how Dehancer works. It's not even that complicated. It's really not that hard. It's very simple to understand. and easy to learn. How much do you care about and how often do you use and look to use film emulation on your photos and or video? Here's the thing, let's get my final conclusion on Dehancer. And we're not gonna sugarcoat, we're gonna get straight to it. I think that Dehancer is pretty good. I don't wanna say great, I think Dehancer is good. I think Dehancer is very useful. Like I said before, I feel like Dehancer has some things in their plugin that you can already use before you even load up the plugin or go within the effect controls and use the plugin. But I feel like what Dehancer does have allows a lot more control, a lot more creativity, and a lot more freedom for style. I feel like Dehancer really gives you a good bit of room to dehance your photo or video. So in my opinion, although the price is kind of steep, I'm all about investments. I'm all about spending money to make money. I would personally spend this much money to use this over a long period of time because I know that I'm gonna use it. And now that I have Dehancer, I'm not gonna stop using it. You're gonna see this in a lot of videos. You're gonna see this in a lot of photos, on the website, on thumbnails, on the channel here, etc., everywhere. The bloom, the halation, and the film grain. Now everything else is also usable, is also beneficial, but everything else in there is not necessary in my eyes. I can do most of that stuff before I get to Dehancer, before I get to the plugin. But those three things, I have much more control using that with Dehancer than anything else that I've ever edited with before. So that's gonna be a key game changer for me personally in Premiere Pro and Lightroom Classic. And a lot of the other plugins they have, which I think is also really hard, they have so many other options for the plugins. I mean, I only named a few: Photoshop, After Effects, Lightroom Classic, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, and there's a few more on the website if I'm not mistaken. I think there might be 2 or 3 more plugins as well for photo, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, those are the main ones we use, and I think just having that many options as is very nice. And on top of that, coming with as many presets and profiles that it does come with, I think it's really beneficial as well, because if you just don't feel like, you know, going through the whole hassle, you got presets. If you just feel like throwing on a profile, you can throw on a profile and just that be, if that's what you want to do. I mean, I ain't recommending it, you know what I'm saying? I really recommend going all in and coming out top tier. I wouldn't just throw something on and leave it. But anywho, the reason why I'm giving it a 6.5 to 7 out of 10 is really because of the price range. It's a little bit steep, but I'm all about investments. I'm all about long-term investments, and this right here is a long-term investment for me. I would definitely make this investment. I would definitely use this. So if you're into a film cinematic look, and if you know you're gonna use something like that over a long period of time, I would definitely look into getting it. And if you are looking into getting it, I got some good news for you, because Dehancers was cool enough to let me give you guys a 10% discount code at the checkout. So when you get to the checkout, before you hit finalize and hit pay and everything like that, go to promo code and put in FAMR. Save yourself 10%, save yourself a little bit of cash in your pocket, a little bit of cash in your card, save yourself a little bit of credit, and get you a 10% discount, man. I think Dehancer does a really good job at making photos and video give a film look. I think they do that solid. I think that what they have within the plugin is very useful, but I think the main 3 that stick out for me: film grain, bloom, halation. It just kind of like frees up your mind as far as like how I want to go about this look, this feel, that feel. I'm feeling it. In fact, I'm feeling it so much, I just shot a Hellcat and a Blackwing. I might edit with Dehancer on those photos. I just might. Use that discount code, man. Save 10%, man. FLMR. Go ahead, go. Save some money in your credit card, man. Put some money in your pocket, dog. You know what I'm talking about? Go and put your money in your pocket, man. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope y'all understand what and how to use Dehancer. If you ain't subscribing, man, you need to go ahead and start subscribing and logging with me, dog. Cause you know we at 208 subs. We finna be at 500. Don't wait till I get to 10K and you want to start subscribing. Go ahead and subscribe now. I'm dropping weekly. Now my birthday just passed. I had like, you know, I was being lazy, to be honest with you. Then I got the review. Anywho, I'm out of here, man. Y'all be easy, man. I'm out.